You can't hear me. Okay, my
Oh,
microphone.
I got it.
Okay,
Sorry, I had my headset on and it didn't click in, so
okay. You are Heather, correct?
I am. How are you?
I'm good. You are a mortgage broker.
Correct. Well, technically I'm an agent, but same difference. All brokers are agents, but not all agents are brokers.
Right. Almost the same type setup as real estate agents
Correct.
and brokers. Okay. How
Correct.
long have you been in the game?
Well, I've been licensed for 2 years, but I've been in and out of mortgages and real estate for 18 years.
18. Okay. Are you having fun?
Oh, always. I love educating people on what all the media is telling them otherwise. So,
Okay. So what's the biggest misconception that's happening in the industry or the
oh,
consumer?
I guess it depends, but I guess one of the many would be uh, that only first-time home buyers can put 5% down, and that's not true. Anybody can
Oh,
put 5% down.
okay. But you need mortgage insurance or what do you call that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, you are correct. So you need mortgage insurance if you're going to be putting less than 20% down. But ultimately people are like, what do you mean I don't have to put 20% down? Yeah, I have another home. That's okay. You can put 5% down on anything you want.
Okay. Yeah, that is I'm with a crowd. I thought, that was for the first time. And my understanding was first time happens every 10 years or something, but I don't know where that came
That
from.
number changes a lot. So it
Yeah.
depends on, yeah, a first time homeowner depends on the situation, if they were co-applicants or if they were just on title. Some I've heard 2 years, I've heard 5, I've heard 7, I've heard 10. Uh, Most recently, I had somebody who was just over 5 years and they were considered first time home buyers. So for that lender, that was their qualification.
Okay. So I guess it really depends on the lender.
I think it does.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's a standard rule for the insurers. It's not actually a question I actually looked into, but I'm going to mark that down as a question to ask the insurers because
Yeah. See, we're
uh,
learning something already.
always, always.
Okay, so here's a question for you. How are you educating your future potential clients about these misunderstandings or these wives' tales?
Um, well, most often it ends up being when I get a call from somebody or a referral. I don't do any advertising. My business is 100% referral. And I mean, we're 10 days in and I have 8 new clients. So that's a pretty good ratio, I think, for,
You
relatively
almost sound
new.
proud of that.
I am very proud of that. I am
Okay.
extremely proud of that. I have people I know who've been licensed as long as me, and they don't even have 8 clients over the past 2.5 years. So
Okay.
yeah, 10 days, I'm proud of 8 clients. Um, and most of the time I make a call with them and have a conversation and find out what it is they're looking for, why they're looking for it, where they got the information from, how they found me. And then my first and foremost education is if you go to a bank, the bank has a round hole and you have to fit in that round hole. They hire people to sell products,
Hmm.
and that's their job. Just as if the Ford person selling you a Ford truck.
Okay.
When you come to a mortgage agent, I am a licensed agent for all of Ontario. I find out that you have this square peg and I go find the lender that fits your square peg. I work for the client.
Okay. Such as, a self-employed or business owner,
Mhm.
which is harder to finance, I guess, or
No, not the
no?
right people if you have the right connections, right? So
Exactly. Exactly.
there's 600 lenders out there. I deal with our brokerage probably deals with approximately 75 on a regular basis. And then, of course, we have our top 10 that we use most often. But there's always a box. if you have a job, a down payment, and breath in your body, and you can fog a mirror, I can get you a mortgage.
Oh, but you have to fog a mirror.
Yeah, I know, pre-qualifying.
Okay. Okay. So could you handle more business?
Always. I actually
Okay.
just hired an assistant.
Good for you. What are you paying for an assistant these days? I'm assuming they live in
20%.
Can. Oh, they're on a performance-based
Oh yeah,
structure.
I'm not at the stage where I could afford to pay somebody full time to come in and do my files. I would love that. That's eventual, you
Okay.
know.
All right. We're here today to talk about trusted circles and stepping stone relationships. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so I mean, there's no point in having that conversation if you can't increase the size of your business, um, or handle more clients. So the reason why, from my perspective, the reason why we're on this call is because we're looking for people in a trusted circle. Did you get a chance to watch any of the videos that I sent you before this call?
I have to admit, I watched a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I get, a client call or a bank call, and I'm not at the stage where I can't take those calls.
I understand. So briefly, this concept comes in from when I started my first construction business, and I found that I was getting better referrals or better quality jobs when I networked with interior designers, architects, and so on. So I didn't know what I was doing back then, but really what I was doing is I was building a trusted circle. And I want to keep growing that circle. But what I find is that people in in small business, they generally have one or two people in their trusted circle, and that's it. They don't have anybody else. I want to have 50 or 100 people because I want to be able to help my future potential clients no matter what their problem is and expect nothing in return. So, I mean, we've recommended dog walkers, we've recommended dog trainers, father and son soccer coaches, leasing companies. I mean, you name it. And those things have nothing to do with my business. It's purely to help them. And eventually the client says, well, Leo, you've helped me 3 or 4 times. I don't even know what you do. And when you get that, then you know you're doing something well. Okay. Because when you say, here's a home inspector, and by the way, we do this, this, and this. Yeah, you just lost credibility, in my opinion. Okay, so having 3 or 4 home inspectors, 3 or 4 moving companies, 3 or 4 real estate agents, or 1,000 real estate agents, and being able to help future potential clients is what we consider a good trusted circle. And a good trusted circle, the GTA, I sent you a link to a trusted circle. We need a good mortgage broker. We've just kicked one out because he was just getting too busy, and he was not really respecting the lead, because we believe that someone gives you a lead, someone should be in touch with that person within 10 minutes. Do you mind if I give you a shout tomorrow or next week? um we value your business, but someone should be in touch with them right away. And he
May I
wasn't
just
doing. Please.
interject there for
Please.
for my philosophy on that is when I go to a restaurant and I sit down, I don't care how long it takes you to get to me for my order. Say hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Touch the table. Hi, I'll be right with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm content to wait.
Yeah.
But
Or
when
i'll
they
be
ignore
I'll
you,
be right with you, and here's a glass of water.
and if they ignore you
Mhm.
and you're sitting there, you don't even know who your server is,
Yeah.
you feel like you're not valuable. So
Yeah.
I understand the concept. Sorry to
Okay.
interject.
No problem. I'm glad to hear we're on the same page. So, belonging to the GTA, where do you live, by the way?
I currently live in Barrie, but I'm moving to Chatham, Kent.
Okay. Um, The GTA group is a free group. We
Okay.
don't charge anything. We don't even charge administrative or anything like that. We even train virtual assistants on your behalf because we would prefer to have everyone on the same level. The minimum standard that we're going towards is 3 virtual assistants. The reason why we say virtual assistants is because I'm sure you're paying between 60 and 80,000 for a good assistant in the Toronto area. You're paying performance-based, so that's a different story. But at the end of the year, you're going to look back and see how much did I pay this person? What is
Yeah, I have to have a
performance-based?
licensed agent to do the part that she's doing.
Okay.
So
Um,
that is not something that a virtual assistant could do unless they are a licensed agent. So,
right. What we're talking about is third-party endorsements, right?
mhm.
When you stand on the soapbox and say, I'm the best interior designer in the GTA, people are going to say, who cares? I don't believe you. You're bragging about yourself. You're lying, right? But if 20 people say Leo is the best interior designer in the GTA and he handles all my projects, that's a different story, right? A third party
Yes.
endorsement elevates. And we believe that a rising tide raises all boats, and that's the GTA Trusted Circle. Okay.
I'm
Uh,
just taking notes. I'm not being rude. I'm just taking notes.
okay. I'm recording this, so I'll send you a recording so that way you can be present and you don't need to take notes.
Okay.
Um, so, and how we do that, I mean, I can get into it a little deeper, but that's the gist of it. We have people that do anywhere. It's kind of a BNI concept, but on steroids. Okay.
Okay.
Because I believe we had a group before COVID where we had 180 to 200 people meet face to face. These were business owners, interior designers, architects, and so on that met in the interior design showroom. And we had 180, 200 people come out. But as we're transitioning to face-to-face and online events, and a lot of times these people show up because they wanted to be interviewed for the LinkedIn Live event, and it kind of died as COVID came in, but it's an extension of that. Any
Oh,
questions, any comments about that?
my sound just went off again.
Oh,
So there you are. Sorry about that.
no problem. I used to have wireless headphones and I threw them away because they don't work with a lot of the technology that I use, especially Dragon Naturally Speaking. So
The problem was my phone went off and I didn't turn my Bluetooth off, and that was my fault.
okay.
So it's
Um,
disconnected now. I didn't realize I didn't turn it off. I thought I had.
okay. Any questions about the concept?
No, it's funny you mentioned the BNI. I actually had been requested to be part of a BNI this year. And well, I guess it was last year. It was November. And I actually went for the meeting, and I've been involved in BNI in the past, and I was really excited about being offered that because I find the concept is a great concept. I find the problem is that with the actual BNI, there's so much time consumed in all the little things that you have to do with BNI
Mm-hmm,
that it takes up quite a bit of time outside of the time frame that you permit for that networking group.
mm-hmm,
And so even when you're trying to do things to help the group, if you're not hitting all those little things that they require, which sometimes they're not as important as the actual actions,
mm-hmm.
I found it distracting. So I decided not to do it. And so I have been actively looking for networking groups. I actually joined a women's one to see what it was about, and they put me into a free, sign up now, get your free 1 week trial. And the free 1 week trial, she literally gave me 1 30-minute time frame. How do I see and learn how they interact with one another in 30 minutes. It just wasn't enough for me. And I told her that I needed to sort of get a better idea and a better feel. I didn't connect that quickly. And she just said, too bad. So I'm like, okay, well, write that off. So I feel you need to get in, you need to join a group of people who are like-minded, who want the same things you want, who are willing to give you that referral without an expectation. And, you know, I spent a year with one networking group and I didn't get one single referral from them. And I'm like, I know I really like these people, but that's not a good, valuable part of my time.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
need to move on from them.
Right.
And, you know, I made one-to-ones with people or whatever you want to call them, and they just didn't produce anything. So I thought, well, either they're not in the same place I am in business, that growth stage, or they don't understand the value of networking. And I want to find like-minded, valuable people that recognize that it is about giver's gain, which is
Mhm.
the BNI concept, without the, if I don't meet somebody this week, but I meet two people next week, that's okay in my book, but not in BNI's book.
Right. And BNI, I mean, I've gone to BNI meetings for the last 20 years, and the concept obviously works for some people because they have thousands of franchises and they're the oldest networking group. But I found it lacking because a
Mhm.
lot of times when you go early and it's a 4 hour commitment. I don't care if you're there for 30 minutes or an hour, it's a 4 hour commitment because
It is.
mentally you got to zone down. Oh, I got to leave in 20 minutes, so I can't start that. So productivity starts winding down as you start preparing. Then the drive there, you know, the talking to the people before and then the driving back and getting back into the zone. 4 hours have gone by, right?
Mhm.
And you know, and you get 30 seconds or 60 seconds to speak and you're meeting the
Yes.
same people over and over again, that
Yes.
didn't work for me. And it's creating an artificial environment. I was talking to a real estate agent once at one of these meetings, and he said, you know, I've been waiting for 6 years to get my spot in one of these groups.
Mm.
Now I can just relax. No, you can't because you are in an artificial environment. You know, as soon as you get out of that environment, if you're not producing, someone else is going to say, well, this guy doesn't produce, so
That's
I'm going
right.
to refer outside the group, right? So
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of creating artificial environments where you can become lazy,
Yes.
right? You got to produce. You got to have standards, and you got to you got to treat like every client is your first and last client. So
That's right.
um, so I believe in the concept, but you know these networking events, if you don't know who's going to be there, you know who's who, and you could spend 10 or 15 minutes talking to the wrong person. You know,
That's
the
right.
concept that we want to develop is that a combination of online and face to face, but you know who's going to be there, who's committed, and you
Yes.
schedule a meeting. I'll meet you by the water cooler at 12:01 and we'll talk for 3 minutes. Just put a face to a name. But the relationship is built online and you're not
Mhm.
spending half an hour talking to the wrong people or trying to find out who's who and who does what. And, you know, uh, I wanted to design very efficient meetings. We actually had zones set up so you could
Okay.
pre-meet people. I'll meet you in zone 3 at, you know, 10 minutes in or whatever. And you had a 5 minute calendar to meet 10 people. And the goal was to meet 20 people at one of these networking events. Now we have a face to a name. Let's meet for lunch. Let's do this. So let's continue our conversation online. Now you can move the relationship forward, right?
Right.
So this is kind of like that, but you know, we have WhatsApp groups and you have private conversations. You know what these people are. We have custom home builders. Um, we want to have at least one person in every industry, but we also want to create competition because
Mhm.
I don't want you to force you to say, well, you got to use this home inspector because he's in our group. If you have a home inspector that you like better, then encourage him to join our group so every everybody benefits, right?
Right.
Uh, where I truly believe that a rising tide raises all boats, and if we create a group that we truly trust these people, and we would lay on the train tracks for them, then everyone's going to benefit.
Like that concept. It's, I used to work for a company called Park Bench, and they were a company that encouraged real estate agents to do interviews with businesses in their neighborhoods. And those interviews would go in, online and in magazines and everywhere else, and on their website. And the goal was not to sell them as a realtor, but to build the businesses in their neighborhoods. And I really liked that concept. I thought that was great. And when I left, and I told them I was becoming a mortgage agent, they actually gifted me some neighborhoods to help promote the businesses in the neighborhood. So unfortunately, COVID was just starting, so it was a lot more difficult to do it at the time. But I wish that the timing was a little bit different, because I like the concept. Build everyone else up, and then people will say, who was that? Who were you talking to? Right?
Yeah, no, that is a great concept. How can we change your mind about marketing, though?
I don't market because, number one, I don't have a
The
good
bandwidth or
marketing
the
budget.
time? Okay. Well, I don't think you need a marketing budget. Um, well, let me just state this. I believe the new currency is recognition or influence. Influence is the new currency. I would rather have influence over 1 million people than $1 million,
Mhm.
because I can turn influencing 1 million people into a lot more money than $1 million. So I truly believe that influence is new currency. And I also believe in giving our people the best business tools. The best business tools are social media, right? If you're trying to grow a company, and again, I'm going to go back to the minimum standard for a bit, so you understand what we're trying to do. And if everybody has the same minimum standard, then everyone is working to promote each other rather than promoting ourselves. And the minimum standard is 3 virtual assistants. And in the Philippines, where we hire the majority of our virtual assistants, and I generally train 9 or 10 of them at a time on your behalf, and they get paid between $400 and $500 a month. So for around $1,500 a month, you're hiring 3 people who could generally outperform the people that work here, that you're paying $60,000 or $80,000 a year for, because we give them the best business tools to do that. Okay. As an example, your assistant generally types between 40 and 80 words per minute. My people type between 800 and 1,000 because of the tools they use. Okay. So they're given tools and they're given training in terms of building trusted relationships. A stepping stone relationship on your behalf could be worth 500 to $1 million, $2 million a year. So you maintain relationships with stepping stone relationships, and they in turn bring in 500 to $1 million. I'll give you a quick example, and we literally have 3 minutes left. I have people waiting on the next call. One of my clients is an odd jobs type company, oddjob.ca, which I would recommend you use them because they're great people and they're part of our GTA Trusted Circle. We're starting a new brand for them. We're starting other brands for them, and we did a test. We used one of my assistants to do a quick test, and because they do mostly residential, and I think commercial is the way they should go. We did a quick test. Within hours, we found this lady who is the head of real estate for the Royal Bank. Okay, so hundreds, I don't know how many, hundreds of banks, Royal banks all over Ontario. And we estimated that client, and the first question she asked is, do you guys do drywall repairs? Well, that's our main project, right? Of course we do. So we sent them oddjobs.ca. We don't have the other brands ready. We don't have the other websites. Please contact these people. Immediately, she comes back and say, oh, we use these people, or I personally used these people 15 years ago, and I didn't have the best response, or I didn't have the best experience, right? And that's one of the reasons why we want to create these other brands, because nobody's perfect, right? If we had the other brands ready to go, they could have approached that same person with the other brand, because the other brands are completely separate. And we estimated that particular client was worth anywhere from $500 to $2 million a year. That's one client, one stepping stone client, right? And that's the type of relationships that I believe your virtual assistant should be designed to build for you, right?
I don't think I really understand exactly what it is. I understand the concept of the Toronto networking group. I
Okay.
don't understand what the virtual assistants do. And I'm also a little confused. It's almost as if you had said that I don't believe in marketing. I do believe in marketing.
Okay.
I sold marketing. I just
Okay.
don't have the budget for the type of marketing that I would look at doing, and I have not yet needed that with my growth that I've been doing in the short time. I'm always ready for more work and more business, and I'm more than happy to put marketing into the budget and into the plan. I just don't understand the virtual assistant part, because I can't have a random assistant for the mortgage portion. I can have a virtual assistant for the marketing portion. And so if I'm just sort of maybe missing something.
Yeah, they're not involved in creating or doing anything to do with mortgages. They're out there creating trusted relationships on your behalf. In other words, they're promoting the interior designers, the architects, the general contractors. The general contractors are saying, hey, if you ever need a great mortgage broker, contact this person. Okay, so it's a third-party endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
So no one is talking about mortgages or interest rates or anything like that. Your virtual assistants are not promoting you, they're promoting other people in the GTA, and you have 20 or 30 people promoting a mortgage broker. Okay.
Right.
They don't get specific in why you're great. Well, they might say, well, she deals with, self-employed and small businesses. That's as deep as they would get.
Right.
Then
Right. Okay.
then you would take over from there and say, whatever you need to say. So
the virtual assistants are promoting the people in the networking group on my behalf to support and deem them qualified people to hopefully help their business. And in return, those people are then promoting the same people I'm promoting as well as me, instead of me promoting me. Did I
exactly.
get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when
Sorry.
you promote yourself, you get, let's say a 2% return. When you're promoting someone else, and they're promoting you, you might get a 10 or 20% or 30% return. Okay. As an example,
I drink this Kool-Aid.
okay, glad to hear that. In one of our US groups, we have a mortgage broker that does $200 million in mortgages each
Holy
and every
crow.
year from the trusted circle. Okay.
That's huge.
So our
That's a lot of
goal,
assistance.
no, actually, he has one assistant.
No, he would have had to have a lot of assistants to close that much business. You need at
Right.
least 2 assistants to close that much business. I mean, from the mortgage side.
Right. So our goal is to get you to 100 or 200 million in mortgages, because if you're doing that well, you're going to be promoting other people as well. So give that some thought. I mean, we can have other conversations. Like I said, I've got lots of videos that talk about this concept. We want to promote this group. We are willing to work for you for free of charge, as long as it benefits the group.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay. So a pleasure meeting you, Heather. Let's talk again
You as
soon.
well.
All right,
All
take
right,
care.
thank you. And I'll go back and rewatch those videos.
Please leave some questions. Now I can respond to you on
Okay,
the.
perfect.
We'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Hi, it's Leo. I'm waiting for you on Zoom. Okay.
Hello, Leo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We are done with both the websites. Can you?
Yeah,
Can I?
I looked at both of them. Yeah, go ahead, share the screen.
Mhm.
Can we finish this call in 5 minutes?
Sure, sure, definitely.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay, just a second. Let me show you. Just like you said, I have, we have created both these websites, though I wanted to show you something. Okay, so this is the first one, and the second one, for the second one as well, we have tried changing the color scheme. So I think this is looking better than the previous one,
Okay.
right? So this is
Okay.
the color scheme that we're using. Also regarding the sitemap, we have updated both the sitemaps for both of these websites on the Search Console.
Okay. And are these websites live now?
Yes, these websites are live, and I have updated the sitemap as well. So they are connected to Search Console, and these pages are getting indexed.
Okay.
So that this can start showing up. I can show you the properties right now. So this is wowexquisitehome.com, and this is wowgorgeoushome.com. We have updated the sitemaps for both of these. You can see here the sitemap.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have put both the sitemaps for both of these websites on the Search Console. We have created property for those websites on the Search Console, and all these pages are getting indexed.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, we had one more issue. So we are using plugin to update the videos here so
Okay.
that they so that whenever you make a post and the videos start popping up here, though the problem with the plugin is that is a paid plugin. So and it expires over time. So in order to keep showing these videos here, we have to go for a paid, or we have to keep updating the API. So when you generate an API again, this will create a new API and then we update it into the plugin so that, it keeps on working. So
Okay.
that's
And
why
how much is the plugin?
I need to check it. It's about 99 for a year, I think,
$99 per year per website?
for year.
Per year
Right.
per website.
Yeah. Yeah, we can look for some options of the plugins. We can look for similar plugins.
Couldn't you just write your own script to do that? I mean, it's a one-time thing.
I understand. And we are trying to fix that error and looking for more options into the plugin. We are looking for similar plugins that can have a cracked version that we can update it on the website and show the same video just like.
Okay. And how long does it, if I put a website on YouTube, how long before it shows up on the websites?
It will start showing up immediately. I mean, after the
Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
yeah, I think that's about the time, when
Okay.
you post a new video, it will start showing up on the
Okay.
website for you.
All right.
So these website need some minor changes, and it totally depends on the owner of these websites. His recommendation, and we can make the edits
Okay.
as per that. Other than that, the website is almost complete, and we have also
And you
submitted
checked
it.
for broken links? There's no broken links or any
No,
problems with the
I
website?
have got that verified with my team, so there are no broken links present on
Okay.
the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
all the pages.
So does that mean you're ready for another website?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So send me an email and give me I should be able to find a couple more for you. I need to prioritize to see which ones are priority, and I should be able
Sure.
to send you a couple this evening. Okay.
That would be great. That would be.
All right. We'll
Okay, I'll
talk.
send you an email
We'll talk
with the
soon.
discussion we had, and you can share the links for the domain name actually for the new websites over that email. All right.
Okay. Thanks. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Sure. Thank you so much.